Good morning, class. This is Mrs. Rosalind Debbie McDowell, your work immersion subject teacher. For today, we are going to discuss about Module 5, the module that I uploaded last week, so that you can study in advance about appreciating the importance of credentials. For our learning objectives, after going through this video lesson, you are expected to, number one, get familiarized with the different credentials for a job. Two, practice filing out forms and writing application letter. And number three, give the importance of the functions of credentials for a job. Okay, before we will proceed further, I would want you to understand what is the meaning of credentials and why it is important. So a credential is a piece of any document that details a qualification, competence, or authority issued to an individual by a third party with a relevant or de facto authority or assumed competence to do so. It is also a qualification, achievements, personal quality, or aspects of a personal background, typical when used to indicate that they are suitable for something. So usually no sa recruitment, it's actually based on the academic credentials. So, imong credentials no sa ginaingon pa ganino sa explain makita dito no ang detalye, no? Papil siya nga makita ang detalye sa imong qualification, sa imong competence no o kung sa imong kakayahan. Then gina-issue sa no by the authority. Halimbawa sa eskwelahan no, ang school no, Department of Education mag-issue sa imo og diploma nga ikaw ni human og senior high sa aning strand, okay? Okay, aside sa credentials no bisan pag perfect na imong credentials, so isa gid pod nga pinaka-importante kayo is dili lang ang imong attitude kundi dili imong personal background no, kung unsay background nimo, kung maayo ba ang imong, kung law abiding citizen ba ka no, nga kanang maayo ang imong dungog, masaligan ka, kay trust actually is a must no kung labi na kung manarbaho ka. Okay, let's proceed. So, one of the credentials that you need to submit when you would apply for a job is your resume. So, what is a resume is? So, resume is a short document used to summarize a job seeker's experience and qualifications for a prospective employer. It includes a job seeker's contact information, work experience, education, and relevant skills in support of a job application. Okay, no? So, kung mag-apply ka og trabaho, gikinahanglan nga mag-submit ka og resume. So, sa unang panahon, ang ilang gina-apply is ang biodata. But actually, ang pagbuhat og resume o ang pag-submit og resume is much more, tawagan ni, much more ano siya, professional, then mas detalyado ang iyang information no, nga makita sa prospect nimo nga employer. No? So, makita dito no, ang imuhang experience kung unsay imuhang naagian na nga mga trabaho, unsa na imong kakayahan, unsa imong kwalifikasyon, no, nga makita sa imong prospect nga employer. Then nag-appeal po dito no sa imong contact number. So dapat no importante po kay sa nga tanan sa imong resume, dapat imong contact number no i-keep gina nimo nga number or imong email ad, no? So just in case dili ka nila ma-text or matawagan, they can actually still reach you out through your email address. Then, aside sa imong work experience, no? So, napulito imong education. Then, relevant skills, no? So, kung nakay skills, halimbawa, driving or usa sa imong hunahuna nga nakay skills, labi na nga kanang relevant bitaw sa imong gi-applyan, no? So, pwede na nimo siya dito ni imong isulat para, no? To support sa imong job application. Okay, importance in writing resume. Number one, a well-organized tailored resume will increase your chances of landing in an interview. So, what pasabot no, kung ang imuhang resume organized, no, net, then plaster, walay mali-mali ang spelling, ang grammar po dapat tama, no? So, mas dako kay kaog chance nga matawagan for interview. Kaya nga naman, kung mali imong spelling, mali imong grammar, labyan lo jud kadiratsyon na no. So, dapat no, as much as possible, well-organized, then tailored. But pasabot no, perfect ang iyang grammar, perfect ang spelling, arranged, then net, then plaster. Number two, it gives the hiring manager an overview of the qualifications you have for the job for which you're applying. No? Sabot pasabot ana no, makita diretso sa imuhang prospect nga employer no, labi na ang hiring manager. Ang overview no sa imong qualification yung sa day pwede ani niya kakayahan ani niya no, kung mo fit in ba sa trabaho nga imuhang gi-applyan, okay? Okay, next, tips in writing your resume. Begin resume by writing your full name, address, telephone number, no? So, una, imuhang full name, ubos, ana, imuhang address, pinakaubos is imuhang contact number. Then next is write an objective. The objective is a short sentence describing what type of work you hope to obtain, no? So, after sa imuhang ano no, sa imuhang pangalan, sa imuhang address, o sa imuhang number, ibutang nimo dito no dahil nakabutang to objective, no? So imong isulat dito short sentence lang. Bisag one sentence or two sentences lang, no? So ibutang nimo dito i-describe kung unsa imuhang ano, unsang klase nga trabaho nga imuhang gipangandoy nga imuhang makabot or ma-obtain. Then next is use dynamic action verbs such as accomplished, collaborated, encouraged, established, facilitated, founded, managed, etc. No, kung mag-describe ka sa imong mga accomplishment just in case no nakay mga previous experiences na sa imong pagpanarbaho. Next is begin work experience with your most recent job. Include the company specific and your responsibilities. Okay no, so kung no, gikan dito sa imong personal information, di ba? Then imong objective. Then no, magsulat po ka dito na part po dito no nga magsulat ka regarding sa imong job or experiences, job or work experiences, no? So kinahanglan imong ibutang gid ang una no is pinaka recent imong job or ang imong present job. Then no, magsunod siya imong recent job atong miagi nga job, no? Then i-identify po nimo dito no unsa imong specific butang nimo no unsa nga company, din unsa imong position, din sa pinakababa is imong mga responsibilities unsa imong ginabuhat didto. Okay, next, do not use the subject I. Use tenses in the past except for your present job. Example, conducted a routine inspections of an on-site equipment, no? So but pasabot ana kung magsulat ka no dito sa imong resume, ayo paggamit og subject nga I, no? Instead imo nang gamiton no in the past form na ang tenses nga imo ang gamiton. Next is place your work experience before your education. In English speaking countries, especially in the United States, work experience is the most important factor in hiring, no? So dapat mag-una gid ang imuhang work experience before your educational background. Next is ask permission to use someone as a reference before you interview for a position. It's also a good idea to let your references know that you will be interviewing if you have not interviewed for a while. In this way, references will be in the loop if a potential employer calls or sends an email for further information, but don't include the contact information of your references or your resume. The phrase available upon request will suffice. No? So, kung di ba no, gikinahanglan magina siya o kanang background, personal reference, no? Nga mangutana sa ang halimbawa ang company nga mag-hire sa mangutana sila just to inquire about your background. No, so palihog kung nakaibutang nga character reference dito palihog, you need actually to ask their permission first, no? Ayo ibutang sila diretso dito nga sila imong character reference labi na og dili mo suod kay base niyang ma-foul ka dito. So dapat mananghid ka daan nga sir or ma'am, pwede ka akong himuon nga reference mga apply magugog trabaho, no? So pagpaila-ila pod kay aron tawag ani in case manawag ang imong prospect nga employer, matubag gid po niya sa insakto. Additional points manggo na siya. Then ayaw pod pangayo og character, ayaw pod isulat ang character reference sa mga tao nga dili nimo suod, no? Kanang nakaila gid pod sa imuha, no? Then sa giingon na di ayaw ibutang ang ilang Gmail ad or ang ilahang contact number. So ibutang lang daw dito no nga the phrase no na available upon request, no? So pasabot na nga kung mo request ang company, that's the time nga mananghid ka dito sa tawag ani sa katong imuhang gihangyo nga mahimong character reference nga sir ma'am pwede ba na akong ihatag imong number kay manawag ang kumpanya nga akong gi-apply, no? So that's the time no ayaw pagbutbot nga matingala na lang to siya nga nung gitawagan siya sa company. Then Your entire resume should ideally not be any longer than one page. If you have had a number of years of experience specific to the job you're applying for, 2 pages are also acceptable, no? So, as much as possible daw, no, dapat 1 page lang ang mga resume. Pero dagan na kag job experiences. Kung mo sobra no, sa 2 pages, that's fine, that's acceptable. At least makita gid nila no ang ka-strong sa imong experience para the more magud no kung nakadagang experiences, dagang kag-accomplishment, so the more nga mas saleable ang imuhang pag-apply sa ilang nga madawat jud ka sa trabaho nga imong gi-applyan. Okay, below is an example of an application letter. So we're going to read September 19, so there should be a date, okay? Date, then the name of the person that you need to address your letter, then ubos ang iyahang sa iyahang posisyon sa company, then pangalan sa company, then sa ilalim na isang address sa company, okay? Then we will read. Okay, dear Mr. Wu, greetings for peace. I am Nicholas Sirius, and I believe that my work experience and educational background qualify me to be the Vice President for Operations of GW Group of Companies. My venture into the professional world started when I was in college. All that time, I decided to work as a service crew at Jollibee Katipunan in order to orient myself with the rudiments of the fast food business and perhaps how medium and large scale business operate in general. Because of my dedication as an employee and my foresight, I was later on promoted as the outlet store manager. Nonetheless, this was only beginning of my professional growth. Later on, I landed in managerial and executive positions in 2 other companies and eventually earned my master's degree in business administration. Thus, at this point in my life, I feel that I have already acquired sufficient experiences to enable me to efficiently oversee the operations of your company. Should you desire to hire me, I promise you to do my best to ensure the growth of your company. Thank you so much for going through my application. I am looking forward to working with you soon. Sincerely, Nicholas Sirius applicant. No, so you could actually see, though he's applying for a higher position, but you could actually see no kung ang iyang humble beginning as a service crew sa Jollibee, then how he steps up no sa iyang na-promote siya sa iyang trabaho. Then until such time nga nahimo siyang dako na pod nga empleyado sa usa ka kompanya. So when I was actually in college before, I have lots of classmates who are working as a service crew in Jollibee, McDonald's, Dunkin' Donuts. So I could actually see their hardships because they actually need to double their time. A lot of times I could see them sleeping actually inside the classroom. But still, they were able to make it. Why? Because they have the determination to really pass. No nga, ningkamot gid sila nga kanang makapasa. Kay lisod daw magtrabaho ka, din at the same time nagtrabaho ka, at the same time nag-eskwela po ka, no? Pero sa history, no, ato ang masam up si Nicholas Reyes, no, he's actually working so hard. Then it will always actually pay you back kung maghago jud ka og magayo, kung maningkamot ka. Kay sa college manggod, there's no such thing as spoon feeding, no? So dapat ikaw nigid kabalo magkatuon. Dapat ikaw magtuon, ikaw magbasa. No, kung high school pa, pwede man og kanang hungit-hungitan pa mo, no. But when you will be in college, it's different, especially when you would go to big colleges or big universities. It's so different there. Okay, so ang application letter isa po ni siya no sa pinaka-importante kaayong document nga imong i-submit no when you are desiring to apply for a position that the company would offer. So, you need actually to make your application letter concise, then straight to the point, no? Ayaw na og tuyok-tuyok, then dapat, no? So, mo ni siya ang iyang composition. So, dapat siya, straight to the point. So, kung wala pa kay halimbawa job experience, you can actually put in there that you're willing to learn and eager to learn. Okay, next. So usually when you would apply for a job, a lot of times they will give you a form to fill in. Okay, so you need actually to read the following guidelines to help you in filling out the application forms. Number one, read the whole form carefully before completing it. Next, make a rough copy and ask someone to check it. Next, write neatly and use black ink. So kasagaran no labi na sa government agencies nga makipag-transact ka dapat itum gid nga ballpen. Then follow instructions exactly. It may ask for black capitals in some sections. Next, answer the questions fully using sentences where possible. Next, write your address in full, not forgetting the post code. Next, make sure you list all course and qualifications, list examinations taken or about to be taken, enter estimated grades if known. Next, complete the section on previous employment by entering part-time jobs, paid or voluntary, and your work experience placement. Include the things you enjoy doing in your spare time in the interest and activities section. Use the opportunity to sell yourself in the section which asks for further information. Try to relate your strengths to the skills and qualities that the employer will be looking for. Check if your qualification is accurate and has no misspelled words. No? So, matong gingon ganino nga dapat dili wrong grammar, dili pod wrong spelling. Kay pag wrong spelling, diretso ginailabay na imong papel sa basurahan. Keep a copy of your application form for future reference, no? So dapat mag-keep gid ka og kopya sa tanan nimong papel nga gi-submit. Next is use your personal education plan or PEP progress file and action plan to help you complete the form. Next is return your application form promptly. There is often a closing date for receipt of application. Next, don't leave blank spaces. Write not applicable or NA for short or none for questions that do not apply to you, no? So kung halimbawa na mga questions nga dili mo fit in sa imong sabutan nga nimo NA, but pasabot non-applicable. No, so kasagaran magud ang application form nga dapat nimo i-fill in sa company ko mag-apply ka. They're not actually uniform, they're not the same, no? So laylay. So you need actually, that's why you need to read and understand it first, okay? So imo na siya makita. There's no such thing actually no nga kanang night template, no? It's different forms, same concept actually but different forms, different details nga ilahang kolektahon no gikan sila mga aplikante. Okay, next actually is barangay clearance. So what is actually barangay clearance? So this certificate is usually requested for employment requirements, ID application, no, kung mag-apply kag ID, then supporting documents and application to government agencies, supporting documents to medical certificates, affidavits, and whenever any office requests or requires it. This certificate is signed by the barangay chairman, stamped and sealed with the barangay official barangay seal, no? So usually sa akong experience, I've been working in big companies, na private companies, they never actually asked me for a barangay clearance. So no, pero kasagaran pag sa government, labi sa government ka no magtrabaho, they will actually require you a barangay clearance, no? Then sa barangay clearance, no, ang requirements nila dapat nakaisidula katong community tax certificate. Or depende sa barangay, no, because actually here in our place sa Salvacion also, they would actually first require you to get a puro clearance, then you need to pay 30 pesos, then before pa ka makaadto sa barangay to secure a barangay clearance. Then of course you need to fill up the application form, then the application fee, no? So mabayad ka then as much as possible na kay valid ID, no? So since nga estudyante pa man mo, so kung makabotar na mo, pwede na mo na i-voter's ID, Then pwede po postal ID, then pwede po sa yung school ID, no, to as proof nga ikaw gid na siya. Then steps in securing the barangay certificate may vary in different barangays. So look for the location of entrance, especially during this new normal. Wait for temperature check, log in and get a number. Wait until your number is called. Fill out a given request slip. Wait again until your clearance is signed by the barangay chairman. Your name will be again called, no? So yung ana pa maagi, no? Actually diri no magwa tag barangay clearance among barangay. Madto lang ka sa barangay secretary, no? So magbayad kay sidula, then fill up kag application form, then maghulat ka, magbayad, then pagka pirmahan sa barangay captain, then i-release na siya sa mga. It's not actually very complicated. Okay, next, what is a police clearance? Police clearance is a document issued to a person to prove and certify that he or she is free and cleared from any case, liability, crime, offense, and bad record in the local town or municipality he or she is currently residing. The police department or PNP station is authorized to issue the certificate to any individual under its jurisdiction. No? So, actually, kapag karon no, so kung magkuha ka police clearance diya sa Mungkayo, so you need actually to have the barangay clearance first. Aya pa sila mag-issue og police clearance. No, to prove nga ikaw usa ka law abiding citizen, dili ka maldito, no? Wala kay kaso. Wala kay pending nga criminal case. Then, though ang kining sa police clearance to actually though taas ang iyang scope, kaya of course kung may mga wanted dito na naman sila listahan, pero usually ang kining sa police clearance is usually requested when you apply for a job either local or abroad, and when you need to show some supporting documents in applying for an ID like passport, or when a government agency or any office requires it. Police clearance is valid for 6 months while NBI is valid for 1 year, no? So kasagaran jud actually ang NBI mo na siya ang gina-request gid no sa mga dagko nga companies. Kaya nga naman to prove no nga wala kay criminal liability, wala kay criminal record, no, na wala kay pending cases, no, nga but pasabot wala kay kaso, no, you are a law abiding citizen. Kay ug naman gud kay record good sa police, buminal dito ka di jud ka isyuhan ani, no. Unya, mabit atong na akong kauban sa una maro kay siya sa nga tanan. Nagminaro siya na sense nga nangawat gid siya. Ay binyag malipat-lipat niya ang accounting di magina nimo pwede nga malipat, no, kay ang record gyud makita magina siya. So nahitabo to no, nag-file og kaso ang employer sa iyaha. So dili na siya maka-abroad, no, maglisod na siya og panarbaho kay nganuman na naman siya offense. Munang kamo no kung manarbaho mo dapat mo honest gid mo, dili mo mag gara-gara, no? Kung magbinuang maguga sa trabaho, dili jud ka mo lambo sa imong pagpanarbaho, dili ka ma-promote. Okay, next, mayor's clearance. Individual need to secure a mayor's clearance before they can apply for a firearms license. People seeking employment are sometimes also required to secure the same. This is especially true of applicants to the Philippine National Police, no? So kung mo apply ka pagka PNP, no, gina-require gid nga makuha ka og mayor's clearance. Some schools and overseas employment agencies require their students to recruit to secure a certificate of good moral character before they are allowed to enroll or apply. So requirements, original copy of police clearance, no? Of course, kung asa ka nagpuyo, nag-reside, makita magud na ug kung naba kay mga kaso, no, ug maldito ba ka sa inyong lugar. So next is latest community tax certificate, official receipt from the municipal treasury office. So steps, no, so mag-file ka, recording of request, submit documents required to the receiving clerk or employee in charge. Next is preparation of clearance or certification. Staff prepares the clearance or certification. The number 3, approval of the municipal mayors approves the clearance of certification. Then 4, release the clearance of certification. Clients have 1 copy with the records section for file. Okay, so mo ni siya, no, ang pamaagi kung magkuha og mayor's clearance. Pero usually sa uban nga pag mag-apply ka og job labi ng private companies, dili kay sila mo require ana. Okay, obtaining a medical certificate. What should be included in a medical certificate? In order to be considered valid, documentation of a medical certificate must include being in the form of an official, original, and hard copy document, no? So, dapat ang katuging gikan sa doctor, no? Ang ilang template, ang ilang document, gid no? Dapat dito nakasulat ang statement sa doctor about your total health. The name and address of the practitioner issuing the certificate are clearly stated. Date of the certificate is written and signed by the practitioner. Date of the medical examination, the condition and degree of incapacity of the patient, date and medical practitioner considers the patient is likely to be recovered to be addressed to the party requiring the certificate as evidence of illness, for example, an employer, insurer, or magistrate. No, so pagkuha nimo og medical certificate, no, say good when you're applying for a job. Actually, some of the companies, they have already their official doctors or hospitals, no, accredited sila. Then that's where you should go to secure a medical certificate. No, so nasa like designated nga hospitals or doctor nga dito ka kuha medical certificate para dili madoktor, no. So ibutang dito sa doctor, no, that you are imong capacity, no, to work, no, nga ikaw ano siya, physically fit, no, mentally and physically fit to work. So but pasabot kung mo na siya dito yung description sa doctor, it means to say that you are healthy, no, then pwede ka nga magtrabaho. Okay, so we have a sample of medical certificate form here. So it should have actually the name of the hospital, its address, and then the word stated medical certificate. No, then it's stated in there to whom it may concern. This is to certify that I have personally blank, then the age, then the sex, then the born on your birthday, and have found that she is physically fit during the time of examination to do the work immersion at Mungkayo LGU. Then musign na ang doctor dito, no, then ang date sa examination, then makita dito, no, imong height, imong weight, imong blood pressure, no, kung di ba ka high blood, no, imong pulse rate, no, kung di ba ka luyahon, kung normal ba tanan, kay basta nun yung ilakang ihar, yung kuyapan kagalit dito. Then ay imong respiratory rate, no, so makita dito kung healthy bagig ka og physically fit, no. Usually labi nagmoadto ka og abroad, ang ilang medical certification ana is paubuon siya dito, no, sa babae tan-awon gid, no, imong agianan sa tae kung wala ba kay almoranas, no, daghang kay mga questions nga ilang ipangutana. Then naa po x-ray to check kung wala ba kay daot sa imuhang baga. Ang uban gani, no, tan-awon pod ang ngipon kung wala ba daot ang imuhang ngipon, no. So part siya actually muna siya ang uban, no. Ang actually do ang uban not all nga apil ang ngipon, pero kasagaran gid, no, is at least sa baga, no, kung wala ba kay TB, no, wala ba kay tuberculosis, kay makatakod man gud na siya. Syempre una kay sakit, dili jud ka i-certify sa doctor as physically fit to work, no. So isa lang na siya sa mga credentials nga dapat imo ang ipasa kung, of course, ayaran na imo siya ipasa og kung mayo na nga hired na ka. Okay? Pag man nimo apply, di ba, no? Okay, you need actually to comply all these requirements, no? So aya pa na nimo ipasa ang imong medical certificate. Dili kay pag-apply pa lang nimo magkuha na din kag medical certificate, kasi ako nang gingon ganina na sila yung mga designated nga hospitals o clinics nga mo conduct sa medical exams. Okay, no? So naapod sila other remarks, no, and other findings, no? Kung nabay asthma, food allergy, undergone operation, kidney infection, heart ailment, and others, no? So musay na ang doctor sa ubos. Then pagkahuman ana, no, makita mo na siya, i-compile mo mo just in case, no, halimbawa, no, wala gud sila kabalo sa imo sa imong background, at least just in case kung tabangon ka makabalo sila nganong nakuyapan man ni og galit sa day kanang health history ani niya, no, sa iyang medical history, so at least so they can actually check from there to help you. Okay, next actually is job interview skills. So the interview is frequently impromptu in character. So there are two general types. So usually when you will be going for an interview, you really do not have the idea what the questions will be. That's why you need actually to research first, no, about the company, about their background, no, sa ilang history, para at least whenever the interviewer will ask you something, so you can actually drive in, means na sino nga, makasakay ka, makatubag ka. Then, no, so there are two general types. One is private interview, consists of talking between an employer and a job applicant, or between school official and student seeking admission into the college. In this kind of talk, the person interviewed is assessed and evaluated by means of his response during the interview, by his personal appearance, and by his qualities as a candidate for acceptance or admission to the organization. No? So kung private interview, no, consists lang siya of talking between the employer and the job applicant or the job seeker. No? So iyang gina-assess, no, kung unsa nimo pag tubag ang interview, no, para dito siya mo pili. Then sa imo pong personal appearance, mabito na importante kay, no, kung mag-apply mo trabaho, dapat you should actually wear your very best dress code, no. Dapat sinaw gid na kayo mo sapatos, ayaw pod og sa mga babae, ayaw pod pag overlay makeup, no, nga pag abot dito mura na kagnaog clown. Simple lang, basta kay limpyo ka o nya neat. Then ikaduha, no, the public interview is a formal or informal talk performed before a large group of audience who may or may not be present within the premises where the interview takes place, no? So ang sa public, ang isa na is public interview, is a formal or informal, no? So usahay, no, pag public interview, dili lang usa ka tao ang mo interview sa imo nga, kundi dili usay, no, kanang group of panel of people bitaw nga kanang puli-pulihan kanila og pangutana to really check, no, mura bitaw kagisahon og maayo, to check your qualities, kung angayan ba jud ka nga dawaton sa trabaho. Okay, additional tips whenever you would go for an interview, no, just pray first, then have the confidence. Ayaw og kahadlok. Why? Because if the work actually is intended for you, then the Lord will make a way nga mulan jud ka na nga job, no. Don't stress yourself, okay? Just okay, so for your activity one, my resume. Directions. Suppose you're applying for a job after graduation this school year. On a bond paper, prepare a resume following the simple template below. You may also look for other templates you can use. No, so I know actually that there's already a sample of a resume, no, sa module nga ako ang gi-upload. Pero I would want you to search online, okay? Para sa inyong portfolio. I want you to search online. In fact, I have seen actually some apps nga magamit nimo, no, CV resume. More nakita na ko dito mo ang apps. I have not been into that, pero I know nga siguro nindot kay sa nga tanan. No, so maybe you can try that one for yourself. No, so I want you to have a unique CV. I mean, a unique resume for yourself. No, something that would make you sell to your prospective employer whenever you have the plan to apply for a job, either when you would graduate in senior high, or kung mo pursue ka sa imong college, then of course kung mo graduate ka, mo apply man gihapon ka og trabaho, no. So I want you to keep this one, because this will be your resume, will be a part of your portfolio, no, that you need to submit to me, that will become a part of that will serve as your final exam sa inyong work immersion. Then for your activity 2, application letter. Okay, application letter making. Direction. Since you have already made your resume, you are now ready to make your application letter, which will be attached to the resume. Of course, no, kung magsubmit ka og resume, of course, una may ginang application letter, no, then attach ang imuhang resume. Dili pwede resume una application letter, no, una ginang application letter, no. Then on another bond paper, submit a copy of your application letter following all the parts. Read again the sample given on the lesson. So just like what I have said, no, though ang sample para sa ko, I actually would want you to widen your world, no. widen your perspective, widen your experience, no? So you can actually search online, no, all those kinds of application letter nga makita nimo, basta kay mo fit in lang sa imuhang background o sa imuhang qualification. Okay, so that would also be, no, a part of your portfolio. So maghatag og deadline ana sa inyo ha, kano sa inyo na dapat i-submit. Okay, class, so that is all for today, and I will see you again on our next video lesson. So I am going actually to give you a performance task that I'm going to give separately.